Keeping the Olympics safe takes the work of thousands of members of the Joint Task Force Games, many of them toiling away in obscurity. A perfect example is the role the Canadian Air Force plays in securing the airspace over Vancouver and Whistler. Under NORAD command, CF-18 fighter pilots are on constant patrol, and they tend to get all the glory. But they could not do what they do without the refueling crew that keeps them in the air.
It's a little more complicated than just getting airborne and floating around in the sky.
The Polaris air-to-air refueler is a converted Airbus A310. Instead of carrying passengers, it carries a payload of 36,000 liters of fuel. Vital fluid for the fleet of CF-18 fighter jets in the air above us right now.
We fly in orbit, a racetrack pattern up there at around 20,000 feet. And we top up the F-18 fighters who are maintaining combat air patrol, a CAP, in the area.
Every 45 minutes or so, the jets cruise in, plug into the basket, and gulp down a couple of thousand pounds of fuel. The regular mid-air pit stop allows the jets to stay airborne much longer.
Depending on their mission, clearly if they're involved in chasing somebody, they use a lot of fuel up, but typically an hour and a half to 2 hours airborne, whereas we can keep them airborne for 6-8 hours.
The mission really begins on the ground with an inspection of the hoses and equipment that will be exposed to the elements in some extreme conditions. With the aircraft cruising at several hundred kilometers an hour, the flight refueling specialist deploys the hose. The CF-18s get within 40 to 50 feet of the tanker. It only takes a few minutes and the jets are off again, watching for unauthorized traffic in the Olympic airspace. And it gives this crew a sense of pride to know they're helping keep the games safe.
It's great, particularly because we're based in Vancouver during the Olympics. It's a great opportunity to see something of the events as well as contributing positively to the overall Olympics.
And they wouldn't say whether they've had any incursions, Deb, into that air traffic restricted zone, but they do say everything has gone very, very well. And just